Anyway, welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on Renegade Radio and all podcast catchers, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you're seeing us or are listening to us. It's the Dark Mark Show. I am Dark Mark, the goth comedian. And as always, everybody's favorite horror writer and now poetry writer, Nicole Saget.
Good evening.
Hi, Nicole. I don't know if you're aware, but one of the top fears in the world is ventriloquist dummies.
That's true. When someone asked me, I said we were going to have a ventriloquist on the show, and someone goes, "Is that really goth?" And I go, "Oh, people are terrified of dummies."
We don't always do goth, but we do. We prey on people's fears. So we have clowns.
But that's what I was trying to say. I mean, I think that ventriloquists, I think it's goth. The first book I ever read about it was Night of the Living Dummy by R.L. Stine. I think it's definitely a part of darker culture, even if it's lighthearted.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because when I think of ventriloquist dummies, I think of that. I think of the movie Magic with Anthony Hopkins that came out in the 70s. I don't know if you saw that. If you haven't, you should check it out. And also, I think of this lovely lady who I just met last week, was on her show, April Live. It was April Live or April TV. I'm not sure.
April in Vegas.
I got it completely wrong. Yes. April in Vegas.
Yes, and you did a great job. As a matter of fact, I've never seen somebody talk to a puppet better. But yes, ventriloquism is very scary and very goth, because I actually read a book called Don't Read My Lips. It's the how-to of ventriloquism, some showbiz stories, but it also delves into the history. You can get it on Amazon. Guess what one of the early uses of ventriloquism was? And this question's for Nicole, the horror writer. What's one of the first uses?
Before you answer, Nicole, this is April Brucker, who we have on the line, who we have on the show. She's a ventriloquist extraordinaire. She's been on MTV. She's been on Judge Jerry Springer. She's been on America's Funniest Home Videos, the adult version, apparently. All sorts of places, Entertainment Tonight, and she's headlining in Las Vegas right now. But now you can answer the question, Nicole.
I was going to say maybe something to do with like seances or projecting energy on
Very
the
good. Very good. As a matter of fact, the first ventriloquist, because ventriloquism started in ancient Greece, and the Oracle of Delphi was actually a ventriloquist.
Neat.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, when people would go and ask her for advice, she would throw her voice. And so if you look at Oedipus, like, she was just messing with them. She never told him to marry. She never said, marry your son. She was messing with him. But anyway, long story short, in Zulu tribes, in the Maori culture, they believed that the dead actually lived in your gut. And so if people could throw their voices, it was believed that they could talk to spirits. So if you're a ventriloquist,
can you talk to spirits, April?
Can I talk to spirits? I actually do believe in the occult, believe it or not. And back in New York City, I did moonlight as a medium at times. And I did conduct seances. And so I believe that energy is neither created nor destroyed. So I like to think that I can.
Well, this show took a dark turn a lot sooner than I thought. And this is April Brucker. She is headlining, I believe, at the English Hotel now in Las Vegas. She's been she was a part of the burlesque show at the Alexis Park Hotel for a long time. And she's been on TV a lot, MTV, all sorts of places. And I saw her, I was like, wow, she's going to be very sunny, very bubbly. And then she's like, she saw my Sisters of Mercy shirt and said, oh, Sisters of Mercy, I love her. And we became kindred spirits.
Yeah, I love God. Like, I used to read Aleister Crowley in high school. I mean, I'm bubbly with Aleister Crowley. But
yes.
Is it possible to be bubbly with Aleister Crowley?
I've seen it. I've actually seen that happen. I've seen bubbly Aleister Crowley fans a lot. You'd be surprised.
Yes.
I don't know if Nicole has. She's looking very.
Oh, no. I'm not looking anything. I was just thinking Harley Quinn.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I love you. Nicole, if you ever need a kidney, you have one. I don't drink and I don't smoke, so my kidneys are actually pretty good.
That's good. How's your bladder control? You doing okay?
I'm doing all right.
All right.
Speaking of bladder control, I have a young woman who she's pleased that you did the research.
Oh, yes, I did.
do you have questions for her? Would you like to see her
Well,
again?
before I have questions for her, I have to do our sponsors really quick. Really quick. I have to keep up with your energy and your puppet's energy, so I'm drinking Ray's energy drinks. This is the best. Delicious. Ray's energy drink. You can't get it in the stores. You can't get it in 7-Elevens. But if you use our code and the link in our podcast description or the description on YouTube, you get 15% off a case. And this is the best energy drink because there's 0 carbs, 0 calories, 0 crash. I got the voodoo flavor, which is like fruit punch, and it's delicious. Nicole's tried the voodoo and the Baja Lime flavors, and she loves them.
They're both delicious.
And they'll keep you up for hours. You'll be so energized you won't know what to do. You'll be sticking your hand up people's asses. It'll be great. Puppets' asses, whatever you want. And one more, speaking of sticking your hand in certain places, our other sponsor, I have to say real quick, it's Eddie by Giddy. And, you know, in a society where we're encouraged to hustle harder, sleep less, and work more, you may find it difficult to relax and be in the moment. For more performance issues in the bedroom affect millions of men like you and I. But finally, there's a discreet tool that works. Meet Eddie, the smarter treatment solution for erectile dysfunction. Eddie is a clinically proven, easy-to-use wearable device designed to help men of any age strengthen and maintain their erections. Call 737-301-6111. That's 737-301-6111 to speak to a licensed nurse or visit eddiebygiddy.com and be the best version of yourself. eddiebygiddy.com, where innovation meets ED, and use our code DARKMARK20 and you get 20% off any order. You don't need the pills. You don't need, this is clinically proven. You don't have the side effects. You don't have the lightness of the head. You don't have the headaches. You don't have the erections that make you go to the hospital. This, I've seen the reviews, and this really works. And some people, it works so well, they try it once or twice, and they're done. That's all they need, because it really restores the blood flow where you need it most. So eddiebygiddy.com. Now, April, you said May wanted to come on the show. May has been on TV so much. Hi, May.
Hello. You were saying that I have been on TV so much?
Yes, you have. I saw you on, what is that show on ABC that's been on for 15 years that I never heard of? What was it called? What would you do?
Oh, yeah, what would you do? Seriously, I was on that. I was on My Strange Addiction. I was on BBC, MTV Telemundo, and a lot of cocaine.
Jerry Springer. You did cocaine on what?
You see, I've been on a lot of things. You see, MTV, BBC, Telemundo, Jerry Springer, and a lot of cocaine.
Oh, okay. Now, it's been pointed out before that May and April have very similar features. But the funniest thing...
She looks like me. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. She looks like me. All right, Mark? She looks like me.
So she designed her look to be like you, May.
Yes, she said, how can I look like that gorgeous girl? The one that gets on TV all the time. And how can I be her ugly friend? I am not the ugly friend. I'm the one that does all the booking. Yeah, that's why we negotiated a contract so that you got paid and I got stiff. No, May. I listed you as a performer. And that's why I went on Judge Jerry. And that's why I had to sue. Well, I'm not going to give it away, May. But, you know, I tried to help you with that. And I went rogue. I know, but I'm a Textile American, okay? And I'm a hard-working Textile American. Nicole, you're a woman. You work hard for your money. So they better treat you right, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Not only are you Textile American, but you're trans.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You see, this is my backstory. I used to be a Charlie McCarthy doll, and then this happened. Ta-da!
Well, it looks like quite an improvement.
No, I don't like to talk about that time in my life. I like to talk about now. And so, May, who's your hero? Anna Nicole Smith. And why is that? Well, I want to date a rich guy that's near death and have him leave me all of his money in his will. You know, Mark, are you rich?
Well, you saw, actually, Mortimer saw me in person, but look at my apartment behind me. Do I look like I'm rich?
Well, you can have money hidden in the caverns, Mark. Now, the next question is, do you like to go scuba diving?
Actually, I really do. I like to go cliff diving, scuba diving. I like to jump off buildings. I like to. I like autoerotic asphyxiation a lot. I just like to be. I'm a daredevil. Better. Yes, I'm quite the daredevil.
Say so before. And that being said, can you quote me on your life insurance policy?
I see. This is where Jerry Springer had a problem because you don't have a social security number.
Yeah, May, you don't have a social security number, but it would, May, I've been trying to get her to be an independent woman, stand on her own. Right, Nicole? Nicole, you know how it is? These guys make you think that you need them. And you know how it is to stand on your own 2 feet? You have a job, right, Nicole? You're a woman with dreams and hopes.
I'm a writer. My boss doesn't always pay me, but my books sell.
Yeah, her books sell. She's got goals. And do you have a man or not?
I do have a man. And as we are sponsored by Eddie, he is sponsored by Manscaping. I'm not kidding. He's actually sponsored by the Lawnmower 3.0.
So,
now, do you date other Textile Americans, or you date?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Well, here's the thing. I was dating Pinocchio for a while. Yeah, that's right. What happened? Well, every time he lied, his nose grew and his dick shrank.
Wow, and I heard about the splinters too.
Yeah, that dirty donkey gave me splinters. But May, what happened? I sold myself for health insurance. I think we've all done that. But, May, you need to stand on your own 2 feet and get a job. I'm too pretty for a job, right, Mark?
I think so.
Well,
and actually, go ahead, Nicole.
May, being pretty can be a job. There aren't a lot of Textile Americans in the modeling industry. And I bet you'd make an actual stand-up model. Like, I could see you wearing all sorts of dresses, maybe some Ray-Bans.
You're right. You see, it's an actual full-time job to be this pretty. So, but May, everybody's got to work.
You could be an influencer, May.
Yeah, I can
Definitely.
be an influencer because I'm so pretty. I'm too pretty to actually work because being pretty is my job. But May, everybody's got to work. You said that would work. Tell us something.
May's crying right now. If you can't hear it, by the way, this reminds me of the conversation you had with your mother on TLC on the TLC show when you were in New York, April.
I know. My mother wanted me to give up. She wanted me to have a plan B. But May, what did you say to that? I said, Mrs. Brucker, ventriloquism's April's full-time job. I'm her full-time job. Okay, April can't do anything else. I'm her full-time job. You see, I'm the one that's getting her places. And what did my mom say? May's the only one with a brain in this family. That's what she said.
She might have a point, but
she said May's not a dummy. Oh, and I said, Mrs. Brucker, I believe the word is Textile American.
Yes, the old generation, they still say Oriental colored people, dummies, but they should say Textile American, Asian American, African American.
Thank you. Yeah. Here's the thing. People think, we're all sorts of things. We're puppets, we're cloth, we're socks, and we're the next movement.
Holla, mate. Now, it's quite a coincidence that your handler's name is April and your name is May. Why was there never a June?
You know what? Because nothing can follow me, okay?
Now, here's the question. And you're on the Dark Mark show, and you've already started using filthy language, so we're going to get to it. This is a question that everybody is wondering, especially the people that go to your 18-plus section of your YouTube page. Have you guys ever shared a man? Have you ever had a threesome?
Actually, this is a story. Back in the day, we were on the road, and we were in Omaha, Nebraska, where all the good things happen. And it was the first time I had ever featured on the road. And so we were in farm country, and I mean, there were cornfields everywhere. So this guy comes up to us, and he looks like Sling Blade, and he's even got tobacco-stained teeth. So he said, would you guys like to come do a threesome at my farmhouse up the road? And at first, we thought he was kidding. And then he said, would $300 do it? And so we talked about it. And, Mark, you've been a comedian, and you know that to feature on the road, you don't get a lot of money.
It's true.
So we thought,
especially in Nebraska,
well, it's $300. And I said, April, if we take it, we could make some extra money. So I thought about it, but he just kept flashing the money, and I just thought this isn't going to end well. And I just saw, a cornfield and May stuffing cut out, crop circle. So
Mm-hmm.
I let May take over the negotiations. I said 300, and he said yes. And I said, for the both of us? And he said yes. And I said, listen, girl on puppet, that's a kink. That's at least 1,000, okay?
Let me check my bank balance here. No, okay, but so I guess you said no.
Yeah, we said no because he wouldn't pay. So yeah, we probably avoided becoming a statistic, and I taught April how to talk about business, so it was a win-win. You weren't worried about becoming a statistic, April? It could have gotten us more bookings. Hello. You see, we already went dark, so let's go darker because sometimes death is the best career move.
So yeah, I mean, you could, death in Nebraska. That's great for the career. But I mean, when May has had a steady boyfriend or April has had a steady boyfriend, the combination hand job blow job never came into effect.
Actually, there was a guy that wrote to us in England, and he wants to invite us to England, and he wants to buy us both clothes. And what did the email say? He said, when you fly to England, you, May and I will go out to dinner. We will go to a hotel room. You, May, and I will have a threesome. It will be a hand job, blow job. Understand? And so I was like, wow, he's very forward. He's like, understand, like this is what it will be. And so I'm thinking, is he going to pay for the ticket? And so we go to his profile. How old is he, May? He's 13.
These 13-year-olds.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like,
What are they thinking?
I know.
And well, I mean, you have to wait till you're 18 at least to do that.
Yes, I think the age of consent over there is still like 16. Yeah, you need to be at least 16, I think.
At least 16, but still, I was like, you're talking about buying me a hotel room at 13. Like, is this going to be like your tree house?
Could be. I mean,
maybe he
who
stole
knows?
Daddy's credit card.
Yeah, he could have stolen Daddy's credit card, or he could have been like a prince or a duke, and I could have married into royalty. But no, April stopped me.
I think that would be great. I could just imagine Princess. I mean, if Meghan Markle could get there, I mean, Princess May, I could see it.
I can see Princess May. I could see you grooming him for a while, waiting till he's the right age and snatching him up.
Exactly. I'd say, listen, I'm just a doll. You can play with me all day long.
Now, and I know this has gotten dark very fast, but seriously, I know I've seen how many comments that April gets online and how everybody says how beautiful she is. May, how many admirers do you have online, and what's the most unusual love letter you've ever gotten from somebody?
Listen, okay, people use April to get to me. All right, people say, April, you're great, you're beautiful, but May is the one I want to chat with. So could we chat with May? And people pay money to chat with me.
Oh, really? Are you on Cameo or something, or?
Well, she's not on Cameo, but May, who was that guy? A guy in Scotland said, May, could you sing
OnlyFans? You got an OnlyFans, May? Is that what's happening?
Well, I'm working on it. I'm too famous for OnlyFans, but I'm going to go on just for fans. May, that made no sense. Well, April, you're the one putting words in my mouth.
Now, May, I noticed you were flirting with Jerry Springer when you were on the show quite a bit.
Well, he's rich, he's powerful, and he has a television show, and he could advance my career. A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And I want to win my case.
Yeah, I unfortunately, Jerry had to rule by the law, but you were I saw you batting your eyes at him and the whole thing. Now, seriously, let's be serious. You were doing the burlesque show, and let me give the context to Nicole, and you can see this on April's YouTube page, but they went on Jerry Springer. They were doing the burlesque show at Alexis Park, and they signed a contract, April and May, $500 per performer. So they said that since they're both performers, they should get $500 each. And the promoter of the burlesque show said, no, I just paid $500 for the act. Now, you guys were still performing there afterwards. Now, was this just a goof to get on TV to promote the show?
No, it actually happened. Mm-hmm.
This was actually filed in the court of law?
Yes, but here's the thing. Maybe I lost in court, but I haven't lost the war. I am still fighting every day for textile rights.
You're going to take your Textile American rights all the way to the Supreme Court?
Hell yeah. You know, right now, you can do anything. The Supreme Court doesn't know what's coming or going or coming or going. It's leakier than Clarence Thomas's bladder.
I'll give you that. I think you might be able to charm Clarence Thomas. I think you could use your feminine wiles on him.
Oh, of course.
He's old. He's about to die. Sure. He's rich.
I'll be like, listen, Clarence, you know, it's me. You can redeem yourself. And you can give me a Coca-Cola without, you can't make that joke, okay? No more Coca-Cola joke. Okay? I knew where you were going.
Yeah, I'm old enough to get that. I don't think Nicole got that, but some of our reviewers probably didn't get that one. But yeah, give Clarence a Coke and a smile. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Nicole's got a question.
Hi. So is there something your puppets can express for you that you have a hard time voicing yourself?
Actually, yeah. What do I have a hard time voicing? April is terribly socially awkward, okay? I mean, April gets really dark. You could tell by the way she started that podcast. It was so dark. I'm light, I'm joy, and I'm fun all the time. And I'm always in a good mood. Except when I lose in a court of law. Except when my textile rights are disrespected. Oh. And except when I'm not front and center.
Well, you were front and center on the show. What would you do where you berated homeless people on the sidewalk? Now, were those planted actors as homeless people, or were there really?
Yes, actually, and we almost got punched. Correction, April, you almost got punched. I was the star. So you would have dove behind me? Yes, my hair can't get messed up or anything, God. So anyway, the thing was that we got the show. And there was when we booked the show, they wanted a snarky ventriloquist, and they hired a man and a woman to see what would happen. And the other ventriloquist duo is John, Pizzy, and Andy, and he is very funny. John was actually somebody I looked up to, so it was a great day. So anyway, we were out there, and we have our earpiece in, and the homeless woman was an actor, okay?
Right.
They were all actors.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the earpiece in. They're like, go harder on the homeless lady. And so what did you say? Hey, homeless lady, why don't you buy a work ethic and some self-respect? And so this guy, and he was a doorman. And I don't know if you guys ever been to New York City, but he was a doorman in the financial district. He looked like he was already having a bad day. And he comes over and he goes, and he's smoking, okay? He goes, stop making fun of the homeless lady. And I go, it's not me, it's her. Yeah, April, thanks a lot. So anyway, he's like, oh yeah, well, when the cops come, they're going to arrest both of you. And so he's just getting madder and madder and madder. And so like, and this is when the camera crew is supposed to come out, and they're like, hi, we're the camera crew of What Would You Do? And he's like, what? You're filming her making fun of a homeless lady? And John Quinones is like trying to calm him down. That's the part you didn't see, because he was yelling and screaming that he was going to call the cops. And he's like, no. And John Quinones is like, no, the homeless woman's an actor. And this guy's like, what? And he's like, yeah. And so this guy goes on camera, and he was actually a nice guy. And so then and this is the irony though, the homeless woman had taken a cab from Westchester to the Seaport, which is like $300. So what was the moral of the story? The homeless woman was actually in a higher income bracket than all of us.
There you go. There you go. Now, they left the most interesting part on the cutting room floor, but now, May, I've heard that there have been instances where you've gone so hard on a crowd that somebody tried to choke you. Not April, you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They choked me, and they didn't even pay me for it.
And it's not an autoerotic asphyxiation. This guy got really pissed, and it's not, even beyond what Will Smith did. He went on stage and choked you, but not April.
Yeah, well, this is what happened. We were street performing in Brooklyn, and
that'll do it.
and this is it was a crazy time in my life. I left my, and I needed the money. So we were street performing to raise money for a flea market. And this guy was like homeless or deranged or something. And so May said, "Do you want to be my sugar daddy? Are you rich?" And he goes, and just lays into her. And he starts going after us. Like, he starts coming after us, and we're running. And he puts his hands around May's neck. And I'm like, no, no. And finally, like, these hipsters, like, chased him away. But he almost killed you. Yeah. And let me say that I don't deal with financially challenged people very well. All right?
Well, what challenge? I missed that.
Financially challenged. Broke ass.
Financially challenged people. Right. That's probably why I didn't hear it, because I'm financially challenged. But yeah. Anyway, no,
what
April.
What do you have to say to that? One more. I love you, and if I get money, I'll give it to you.
So I want you to be my sugar mama, May. Trust me. Now, May, seriously, this begs the question, and I got to ask April a couple questions. But what do you think of men that are living with dolls? Do you think that opens things up for you? People that have like sex dolls and they live with them?
Well, I say to each his own. And what do you say to that, May? Well, I say, if that sex doll's rich, I'll blow him up.
Now, April, you were born in Pennsylvania, which is weird because I always detect this like slightly Southern accent from you, from everything I've been watching. Where does that come from?
It's a weird accent. It's a Yinzer accent. I grew up kind of close to West Virginia.
Okay.
And it depends on what, like, sometimes when I try to speak eloquently, people think I'm from Boston or Baltimore.
Okay.
But then when I really get going and I get fired up, people think I'm from like West Virginia, Tennessee or something. So
fired up,
really, yeah, nobody really knows where I'm from. But I'm from Pocatello, Idaho. But don't tell anybody, because Idaho.
But you're the most beautiful woman to ever come from Idaho.
I know.
All the potato farmers must have been right all over you.
We don't talk about that time in my life, okay? Let's talk about
they were throwing French fries and au gratin potatoes and baked potatoes and mashed potatoes at you, trying to win your love.
Yeah, they all try to win my love. But let me tell you, I'm the reason that April gets anything. Why are you still on that? Well, it's true. I can't tell you how many times. Okay, tell him this story. This is one of May's favorite stories.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
I was inviting somebody to a show that I was in, and it was a postcard, and it was me and her on it. And so he sees the photo, and what does he say, May? He says, "Wow, that is a really famous puppet."
Wow. And
I said, "April, that's right. I am a really famous puppet. I'm a star. I'm going solo."
I could see, like, this could be like, it's a big duo breaking up. Now, April, could you handle if you broke up with May? I don't think so.
I don't know. But May, could you handle it if you broke up with me? I think I could. Oh, yeah? Well, let's see. Do you guys have kids? Because people that have kids, she can't handle it. Now I know how it feels. Now I know how, yes.
You do have kids, but they're all Textile Americans. Now, how many to use the colloquialism, puppets do you have?
I have 36. Now, I'm just going to rest my hand, and I bet people with children wish they could do this for real sometimes. And this is my backhand, you bitch!
Now, April, you were from Pennsylvania, but you grew up on Long Island. Is that correct?
No, I grew up in Bethel Park, right outside of Pittsburgh. But I've been to Long Island. And Mark, did you see that? She put me on the other hand, and this is my bad side. Tell her and to put me on her other hand.
Well, I'm left-handed, so I'm getting all sorts of fantasies right now. So,
but it's my bad side. The right side's my bad
it's her
side,
weak hand, but it's my strong hand.
Oh, so you're just gonna let me languish here?
I was asking April a question because she went to various performing arts colleges in New York.
Yeah, I went to NYU, May. He's talking to me now. Whatever. So yeah, I went to NYU, and I went to NYU with April. Tell him about when I arrived at NYU. Yeah, actually, this is a good story. May couldn't move with the rest of my stuff for some reason, because, you know, when you go away to college, and I'm sure you guys experienced this when you went away, you know how there's so much to pack and not enough room? Well, anyway,
Yeah.
May wasn't able to come in the car. So my mom said, I'll mail May. And I was like crying because May couldn't come. And so what did you do, May? I said, I'll stay behind, but I have to get to New York. So anyway, my mom sent May to New York. And the people that worked at the front desk, I think she was from the Dominican Republic, the lady that worked there. And she knew that I was expecting a puppet because she knew I was the puppet girl. And she's like, is this a puppet? And I'm like, yeah. And I opened it up. And what did you do, May? I popped out and everybody gathered around me. I was the most popular girl at NYU that day. Ah!
I bet that wasn't the only day.
No. And actually, people used to knock on my door to meet my puppets. No, not your puppets, to meet moi. Yeah, they actually.
I mean, your Textile American. Now you guys have the same. May, do you do April's makeup or does she do your makeup?
I do her makeup. That's why it looks good.
Oh, okay.
That's a lie, May. No, it's not. Yes, it is. 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 May, you sound crazy. No, you're arguing with the Textile American. You're crazy.
Now, Nicole, I've got an opinion on this, but who has the crazier eyes, April or May?
I can't say that either one has more crazy eyes, but May's eyes are bigger, so they're more expressive.
Okay. Now, was May your first Textile American, April?
She gets sensitive when I tell her this. No, it was Groucho Marx.
Okay, because I know when you were doing this since you were a little kid. You were doing nursing homes when you were a preteen.
Yeah,
and
May, May, I'm gonna have to. Your sugar daddy's here. See ya. I'm gonna get another person that was with me. Another.
Well, while you do that, Nicole, tell them about our other sponsor. May might want to hear this.
Well, if you've ever had a stressful day and you just want to relax, maybe rest those hands for a little bit, maybe rest your joints, whatever you have that you want to just relax and work out, go to Renegade Kush or RenegadeCBD.com and order yourself some of our fine CBD products.
That's right, Renegade Kush or Renegade CBD. I don't know if any of your puppets partake, but if they do, Renegade Kush or Renegade CBD, it'll relax you. It'll take care of any hand pain you may have, and just get you feeling good. Now, who's the sugar daddy?
I have one puppet. I have one puppet that might partake.
Okay.
Yeah, like I have the whole family here, Mark. They have been waiting to meet you all day, and this next one is one that I used to read bedtime stories to children with.
I've seen that one. And what is your name?
Hi, I'm Sweetie Pie. What's your name?
Hi, Sweetie Pie. It's Dark, Mark, and Nicole.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
I see you have nice, pretty red hair.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think Sweetie Pie might be Gothic. She's got a very fair complexion and very, I like the makeup. I think you might have a goth side to you.
Well, did April tell you when she found me?
How did you find Sweetie Pie?
Well, you can help me tell the story. There was a magic shop in town, and a very evil magician was keeping me captive and making me do his bidding. And so I saw her with a bag on her head. And I said, help me. And I said, Mom, I have to take this little girl home. And my mom let me buy Sweetie Pie. And I went home with April where I lived happily ever after. So April's friend.
How old were you, April?
I was 17.
And how old were you, Sweetie Pie?
I was 6, and I'm always 6.
Yeah, you don't look a day over 6 to me, but so I don't see Sweetie Pie too much anymore. I've seen her on the some older clips now. That is, Sweetie Pie was your first, or were there other puppets before Sweetie Pie?
Groucho Marx was my first,
Right.
and I got him because I grew up without cable because my family was really cool like that.
Yeah.
And when I was 13, because I grew up in the quarterback cradle, my brother was playing football. So my dad wanted to get cable. Well, he wanted to get the local channel. And when you get one, you've got to get 40. And you should have heard him arguing with the lady. But I only want one. But Mr. Brooker, you got to get 40. But I only want one. So anyway, we ended up getting cable. And one night after one of my brother's games, we were watching TV, and my dad hates commercials because 40 channels, you get 40 channels of crap, right?
Right.
So anyway, I ended up, so we came to an Edgar Bergen TV special. The family members tried to talk like ventriloquists because of my great-grandmother's sideways Irish smile. I was the only one that could do it. And so that Christmas, I got a Groucho Marx puppet under the tree.
Oh.
And so then I got Sweetie Pie. Yes. And so April, tell them what we did after that. I said, wouldn't it be exciting if we read bedtime stories to children? So we started a show called Story Time with April and Friends, where we read bedtime stories to children. And we sent our VHS tapes around the globe. That's how old April is. And we got into 36 states, 6 countries, and the World Wide Web. In my first year at NYU, we were actually on a public access station in Staten Island. And we were in the New York City TV Guide.
Very, very good. Sweetie Pie, how did you like the press? How did you like seeing your picture in print?
Oh, it was great. But April was mean to me. How was I mean to you? You wouldn't let me have a pet alligator. Sweetie Pie, an alligator is not a house pet. Where would you keep it? The sink. Sweetie Pie, the sink is not a place for an alligator, okay? Maybe you want to try again. What about the bathtub? Bathtub's not a great place for an alligator. What about the hot tub? Still not a great place for an alligator. Well, April, there's this guy that walks by the neighborhood that you don't like. So maybe there could be pet food. He's not pet food, Sweetie Pie. How many times do I got to tell you? See, she never lets me have any fun, Mark. Could I go live with you?
Yeah, but May's coming too. So can you handle that?
No, it's really.
I didn't think so.
So, Sweetie Pie,
go ahead, Nicole.
do you have a favorite story you used to read to the children?
Yes. Do you want to help me tell it, April? Sure. There was a dark, dark night in a dark, dark woods, in a dark, dark house. And in the dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark room. And in the dark, dark room, there was a dark, dark closet. And in the dark, dark closet, there was a dark, dark box. And in the dark, dark box, there was a ghost.
Scared for a second. Now, April has a video where she talks about when you're doing ventriloquism for children, there's 2 types of children. There's the one that completely believes and thinks the puppet is real. And then the other one that's very skeptical and is like, I know what you're doing. And then you got to win both of those over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Sweetie Pie, I think, won both of them over, I think.
Oh, yes, of course. I was very popular with the kids. And we used to do a thing where she would scare the kids, or they would play a trick on her.
Oh, how do you do that?
Well, what happens is Sweetie Pie goes, there's something in the window. It's really scary. It's big. It's a monster. It's horrifying. And the kids go, no, there's not. Yes, there is. No, there's not. Yes, there is. No, there's not. Yes, there is. And so they run to the window and they're going crazy. There's nothing there. And so then I go like this. I say, do you want to play a trick on Sweetie Pie? And they're like, yeah. And so then they get her and she goes, no, there's not. And they go, yes, there is. No, there's not. Yes, there is. And so she goes to the window and there's nothing there.
That's funny. Now, you also have tips on how to do ventriloquism. Nicole, are you up for maybe trying to be a ventriloquist?
I don't think I have the skills, but I'll try anything twice.
Okay, I'm going to put Sweetie Pie down and I'm going to teach you how to be a ventriloquist. Bye! So anyway.
Bye, Sweetie Pie.
Okay, so anyway, this is what you do. All right. Do you have a hand, Nicole? Right hand, left hand?
Right hand.
All right. And
That's your left
all
hand,
right.
but okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. That is my left hand. Right hand.
Okay. Well, it's going to be Mr. Hand. And so smile. Smile.
Big
Open your
smile
mouth.
so you can see your teeth.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And without moving your lips, say, hello.
Mhm.
Not bad. And say hello, Mr. Hand, back as you.
Hello, Mr. Hand. Hello.
It's not bad.
Not bad. And folks, if you want more tips, Don't Read My Lips on Amazon. It's
Right.
everything I know.
Hello. Hello. Yeah.
Mark
That's
did it much
not
better
bad,
than
Mark.
me. Good job, Mark.
You guys might
Hello.
be taking my job away.
Hello, Mark.
Oh no, I'm not sure. Because obviously the ventriloquism is one thing, but you being an attractive female is another thing that helps. Very inspired by Mae West. I've seen the posters, but it's funny
Yes,
because
you've done your. Come up and sing this sometime.
I saw something where you were talking about your childhood and you were saying how fat you were, and they show pictures of you and you're not fat, but you did have braces and your skin hadn't cleared up, so you were insecure, and I guess the puppets, especially May, gave you confidence.
Yeah, and she still does. Don't tell her that.
I would never.
May, yeah, she still does. And as a matter of fact, whenever I go anywhere, people are like, "Who is that blonde puppet?" But it's just, but she has been with me through everything. And the thing that actually got the attention of TLC was I had been engaged to a jerk off, and I don't know if you guys have ever been in a relationship with somebody that sucked.
Once or twice, I think Nicole has as well.
Yes.
Yes, it's like you haven't lived until you've dated a mistake.
We've all had
there-
our mistakes.
Well, mistakes make great stories, so it's like use your mistakes wisely. So anyway, I got engaged on the third date. I do not recommend that. So anyway, long story short, he made me choose him or the puppets, and he was not a nice guy. He was actually pretty abusive. So
Wait, you got engaged on the third date?
Yes, I did.
Most people just have sex.
I know. I got engaged. I was like, yes, let's get married.
And he was rich, I'm assuming?
No, he was broke. I was paying for everything.
That's always those broke guys. Okay.
Yes, and May has never let me live that down, so you know. So anyway, she didn't like him, okay? And maybe she's gonna help tell the story. She's got a lot.
I can't wait to hear this.
So anyway, I met this guy, and I said, April, he's a loser. And I said, May, you are just you're being really hard on him. And as a matter of fact, he said, what did he say? He said on the first date, he said, I want you to be my girlfriend. And I said, this is really romantic. And I said, April, this is a red flag. And so on the second date, he said, I want to retire to your home state. And I said, dude, that would involve having a job. So anyway, the third date, he proposed. And I said, this is so romantic. And I said, run like you saw Godzilla. So anyway, as time went on, he revealed himself to be very controlling, and, the red flags were everywhere. And so anyway, he made me choose between him or the puppets. And I thought, well, being a ventriloquist is great. Being an actor is great. But the odds of these things happening for real are slim and none. Maybe it's time to grow up and put the puppets away. So she put me under the bed for several months where I collected dust.
Well, she supported a broke guy.
Yes. Yeah, well, I supported him. And so it just got worse and worse and worse. And, it got pretty dark. And so then I decided that I missed my puppets. So she got me out and she started to play with me. And I said, April, you know what you need to do? And I said, what do I need to do? I said, you need to leave that. Okay, don't say the word. I said you need to leave that. Loser. How's that? Loser. Okay.
I'm putting the loser sign right there. That's who he is. Now, Nicole, there's been plenty of men that ask you to be their girlfriend after first date, and that's a red flag for you.
It is. I run from people that are too aggressive. Sometimes that ended up with me being more interested in people that were too elusive. Right now, I have a very good balance. I've learned that if I kind of friend zone the people I like in the beginning, but I still am flirty with them, then there's like a longer courtship process, and then it's just like the person I'm seeing right now. I've been friends with them for like 4 years, but we liked each other the night we met. It's not like we started in the friend zone and got out of it, because as Mark knows, there's never any getting out of the friend zone.
Because I'm in the friend zone.
Not necessarily mine. That wasn't about
but yes, yours.
But the point is,
I'm not in April's yet, but
I took it slower with this person, especially because I was still kind of not over my ex. And then when we rekindled this, he was just so kind and nice to me that he's long distance too. So there's a lot of space. And so for me, I feel more comfortable with space and attraction. If they move too fast, I run like hell.
Now,
I told you, run like you saw Godzilla when he moves that fast.
Well, you have to wonder why they're moving that fast, because they don't know you yet. You know what I mean? Like, no one knows someone after 3 dates.
Yeah, you can think this woman is girlfriend material. You can think that. Don't say that out loud. You can think, oh, this is a really good date. I hope this turns out to be something, but don't say it out loud. Don't say I want to be your girlfriend after a first date. Unless you want to mooch off somebody.
You know what I do? I say, excuse me, I want to see your bank statement. That's how I start the date. What's the credit score?
You would like the guy I'm seeing right now. He's I'm working class. I'm a little on the poor side because I just do whatever I can to make money. He's a international DJ, and he's right now on a cruise ship sailing with making like tons of money.
Does he have any international DJ friends for a
He might. I think I could introduce you to some, yes.
Oh, then I could be an international girl of mystery. Goodbye, April. So long.
Have you ever played a cruise? Have you ever played a cruise, April?
Actually, never. I get super duper boat sick. That's the thing that's kept me from it.
Oh.
But maybe I've gotten better. I used to have a lot of stomach issues. But I said, I want to go on a cruise ship. I want to get around the world because I'm international now.
Now, April, let me now Nicole, to go with that. April has put on her website and all of her material that now she's looking for Mr. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is good for me, because plenty of women have said I'm Mr. Okay, but not Mr. Right, Mr. Great, Mr. Okay. Now, how do you define Mr. Okay, April?
Let's see. So far, you can help me with this, Meg. I define Mr. Okay as in he's, I can work with being arrested, but never been to jail long term. And if he is going to jail, to tell April got it ahead of time. And somebody preferably not allergic to the law, because April's exes always break out in handcuffs. I have an app, and this is how you find April's exes. What's the app that you can find my exes on? Loser locator.
But it's the loser sign again. But
well, okay. And also somebody who hasn't been abducted by aliens. I had one guy who told me he could turn into a werewolf. Let's see.
I think that happened to Nicole too, didn't it?
That's another one. Not married. And then, I had a married minister try to pick me up.
Wow.
I don't doubt that. Now, first date, do you bring May, or do you bring any of your puppets?
She brings me because I tell her the truth. I say, listen, this one's a keeper. Or I say, this one's a weeper because I am crying from disappointment.
Go ahead, Nicole.
I have a question. I had one question originally, but I'm going to combine it with the other question. Are there any puppet romances or puppet rivalries in your orbit?
Are there any puppet romances or puppet rivalries? Well, I'm the star, but everybody else can get in my shadow. What do you do for the world, May? I walk on it. So But if you could be like, are you having any rivalries with any puppets? Well, let's just put it this way. I'm a star. So the only thing that could rival me is a bigger star, and I've never met one. But Miss Piggy, I'm looking for you. Okay.
Not even Donald J. Tramp or Joe Biden puppets have hit on you, May? Come on.
Actually, they have.
Been inappropriate with you?
Here's the thing. Donald J. Tramp wrote me a check, and it bounced. All right.
Donald J. Tramp, interestingly enough, you had performed during an anti-Trump rally with Donald J. Tramp.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, May, I'm just going to put you down for a second because I got to get ready for my sugar daddy. And Donald J. Tramp, I believe he's in the vicinity. Where are you, Mr. Tramp? Where are you? He's been in hiding because his legal issues have just been through the roof. Okay.
I imagine.
Yeah. And so anyway, hello, I want to grab this broadcast by the pussy. Ladies and gentlemen, disgraced former president, Donald J. Tramp. Former, I won the election. It was rigged.
You know, Donald J. Tramp's hair is better than Donald Trump's hair.
Yes. My hair is better than his hair. He's the other dummy in the White House. So
it's kind of got a Sex Pistols sort of thing going on.
Yes, Sex Pistols, because I'm Second Amendment. I'm a Sex Pistol.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about the anti-Trump rally that Donald J. Tramp performed on.
Okay, well, he performed as a part of STAT, which is Stand Together Against Trump, and we were performing in Cleveland. So this guy comes up, and he's got a handlebar mustache and a cowboy hat. And Ohio is an open carry state. So he comes up to me, and he goes, why do you hate Trump? And Stand Together Against Trump or STAT, and these were doctors, nurses. I had my talking points. And your talking points, you're like, I don't hate Trump, but I hate, the xenophobia or whatever. Yes, because we should all be scared of zebras. Oh! So anyway,
let's be honest, Trump is against Textile Americans, too.
Well, I'm not against Textile Americans. I'm Muslim American. You're Muslim? No, Muslim. Like silk, cotton, polyester.
Muslim American. Muslim American, yeah.
So anyway, he says, why do you hate Trump? And I said, well, and he's like, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him. And so Clinton Billups, she's my manager, is a former cop. He was a few feet away. And there he is. And there's this Ohio state trooper. And I'm like, come on, guys. And they see, and this guy with the handlebar mustache starts arguing with him. Mm-hmm. And after a few minutes, he walks away. He's like, if that's the way you want it, fine. And Clinton and this cop are just laughing. So, yeah.
So once again, somebody was arguing not with you, but with a puppet. Not with April, but with a puppet. I'm sorry, Muslim American.
Well, let's just put it this way. There's a reason that they gave me a AAA rating. Wait, who gave you a AAA rating? Wrong! A triple K rating. K.
That's Donald J. Tramp.
Question for you. Nicole, do you think that my hands are too long?
You think your hands are too long?
Do you think my hands are small?
Oh, do I think you're... Oh, let me look. Sorry, I had to get closer.
I don't know if I would get that close.
I gotta say, I'm a little thrown off by the fact that you don't have any fingers.
Well, my hands are huge. They say I've got a guy with no finger and he has a big... Oh, you can't say that. Nicole, you want to lead after... Nicole, can I tell you something?
Sure.
You're in line with my daughter.
Oh, I hope that's not a come on.
Well, and they say, oh, because I want to grab you guys. Oh, you can't say that. Stop talking to Nicole like that, okay? We talked about women voters. We gotta work on your rapport with the women. So, Mr. Tramp, what do you like to do on a first date? I like a long walk on the beach. I like dinner, and I like a golden shower.
Who's giving? Are you giving or receiving?
Receiving, because I'm all about receiving.
Nicole, you stepped into that one. I wasn't touching that with a 10
This
foot pole.
isn't the first time someone's asked me to do that.
Yeah,
It's probably not
Mr.
the second
Tramp,
time somebody's asked you to do that.
Well, young lady is a
I'm gonna tell you
conservative
the same thing I
Republican.
told them. I don't think it's very sanitary. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Mr. Tramp, not very sanitary. So, Mr. Tramp, did you collude with Russia? They call me Agent Orange, codename Cheeto.
Oh my goodness! I can see why the Trump voters were upset with you, Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, but I appreciate the fact that you like my hair. As a matter of fact, Rudy Giuliani's hairdresser did it.
Well, I'm surprised that there's not orange dripping down your head. Actually, the hair is like it's literal Cheeto color, even more than Donald Trump's hair, which is what I think is really good, and it's kind of spiky instead of just shoved in the middle of the face, which is very nice. I don't know if Donald Trump's wearing a wig, but you don't look like you are. But speaking of wigs, I had read that April was spending over $100,000 a year for maintenance on her Textile American children. Is that correct?
Yes, because we're huge.
It's you spend $100,000 a year on upkeep for your
Yeah, they need
children.
New clothes, new wigs, new suitcases. They travel. Yeah.
Wow. And and you must be doing great. You must have a sugar daddy. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's Donald Trump is funneling his funds somewhere. But since you hit Vegas,
You can't say
definitely.
that on TV. I'm under indictment. My phone's being tapped.
Well, since we were talking sexy talk before, I did want to ask you this. And Nicole, can you believe it's almost been an hour?
We've had a great conversation so far.
And April's coming back. There's no question about it. We might have to do a remote in Vegas with April in person, or have April come here to LA next time she's in LA. We'd have to have her in studio. But I just met April last week, and I definitely feel that we're friends already, and I really want to do shows with her and be in her orbit more and more. But April, you've been on so many shows that I never heard of. And you were on a show, an MTV show, which was like they had to guess what you were. And your clue was I use my mouth, which prompted all sorts of odd guesses. But that was such a weird show. And there's so many edits that it just looked weird.
Yes, actually, I told them that I used my mouth. People were always looking at my mouth. And Carlos Miller, who is he's a sweetheart. I like Carlos a lot. He almost guessed it. And I wanted to tell him that he was right. And the producers were like, you can't, because he's a Sharpie. So anyway.
He knew right away. He knew probably the halfway through, but he didn't say it.
Yeah, he didn't say it, but he was like leaning closer and closer and closer. And the one little girl, she was guessing, some sort of sex fetish person, because they had a bunch of those folks on. But it was funny because I did that during quarantine in my slippers.
Right.
And so I get up and there was a confusion on the time, and they were like, where are you? Because, anyway, so I get there and I almost missed the filming, but I do it. It was fun. And so I felt like an old woman afterwards, because they had all this new technology, and they're like, they had me download this app and do this and do that. And I was like so lost.
In your old lady slippers.
Yes. Oh, I had my old lady slippers. I was a complete old lady, but I will say this, they were lovely people, and I can't say enough good things about MTV, because MTV, and this is where they will survive. They are the future.
Yeah. But the clue that they had them blindfolded, and somebody stuck their hand in a box, and there was a baby doll in the box. How is that a clue for a ventriloquist?
Well, I think it was doll,
Right. Because the other two were like, oh, she dresses up as a baby for adult entertainment, and the other one's like, oh, you're a babysitter. And it's like, no, she's a ventriloquist. But I could see the machinations behind it, just because I've worked in TV as you have. And it's like, okay, he knows, but you got to get another segment in. So yeah, we're gonna do another segment. Now here's another thing. Now apparently they had an America's Funniest Home Videos with the late great Bob Saget, but it was like Funniest home videos after dark. And you have what was it called?
It was called Videos After Dark on ABC.
Right. And another show I never heard of, but they had a video of you folding a towel in front of yourself, which is very impressive that you can do this. You hide your nudity well. Not a lot of women can hide their nudity as well as you.
Well, it was fun, and it was actually a crazy story because I filmed the video and I did it on a dare, and I was like, okay, I'm always dropping my towel, and I saw these two French guys doing a dance on Got Talent France or whatever. You know how they have the little shows all over the world now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, wouldn't this be funny if I did a routine like "Don't drop your towel"? And so I came up with one. Me and a friend shot the video, and America's Funniest Home Videos was looking for videos. So I get this call from LA, and I think it's totally like the Human Rights Watch or whatever asking me for money, and I was broke at the time. So they call me once, call me again, and I'm having a bad day. So finally I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell them I don't have any money. So I'm like, hello. They're like, hi, it's so-and-so from Videos After Dark. It's Bob Saget's new show on ABC. Would you like to submit your video? You know, we like your video. We're thinking about airing it. It made the final round, and if it makes the cut, we'll let you know. So anyway, and we'll send you some money. So I'm like, all right. So fast forward. I get this call from an old boyfriend. He's like, April, how you doing? I'm like, great. He's like, why did I ever let you go? I'm like, well, because you were a cheater, but let's talk about that a different time. What are you up to? He goes, I just saw you on a promo for Bob Saget's new show, and you look great. And I'm like, okay.
Nicole, you've seen it. You've been through this a few times where the ex-boyfriends regret dumping you or regret breaking up.
They always come back. They always come back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and this one I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, why did it ever end? I'm like, because you were a jerk. But anyway.
But April, here's my question about that. Why did they blur your rump?
I guess my hips were too hot for TV.
Like, you don't show any nudity. There's like a little of your rump outside the towel, and they blur it. There's no crack. There's no boobs.
I guess my little bit of a rump was too hot for TV.
Your hips don't lie.
I don't know. I guess it was too hot. But Bob Saget, if he had his way, God rest his soul, I'm sure the whole world would have seen it.
With Bob Saget, I'm sure there's plenty. Nicole, did you have a question?
Oh, no, I was just responding to the fact that they always come back and you always remember why you left. Like they do a really good job reminding you why you ended it.
Yes, they remind you why it didn't work out. Yes.
Well, April, I can't believe that's the end of the show, but I definitely want to have you back. And I know Nicole's been itching for a Vegas trip, so next time we're out there, we might do a remote. If you're ever in LA, let us know. We'll have you in the studio. But tell everybody what you got going on. I know you're working at the English Hotel. Tell people about that. If any of your friends want to make another appearance, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, folks, I'm April Brucker. You can find me at aprilbrucker.tv. Watch for my new show, April in Vegas. And it's on YouTube, April in Vegas. On my channel, April Brucker Comedy. I'm on social media. Episode 2 is dropping this Saturday. Gabriella Versace, he's a showgirl. She's a showgirl entrepreneur, the man that knows a lot new. And you can see Dark Mark chatting with, and he's going to help me close out the show. Bonjour, Nicole. And
I remember Mortimer.
Can you make it with your closet? Wow. You are so
I'm half French, so I'm very flattered. Thank you.
Oh la la. So what did you ask Mark? I asked Mark, what did they cultural renegade? And so you can see Dark Mark this Saturday answering, what did they cultural renegade? So from April's family to you, we say good night. Ooh la la.
Mortimer, I didn't mean to cockblock you and talk over you. You can flirt with Nicole all you want.
Ooh la la. Nicole, I will be here after the show. Do you know what a rougarou is, Rougarou?
An rougarou? I've heard of it.
That's me. I am a mythical creature in every way. I will change your life. Get out of here, Mortimer. See these guys? They let you know why it's ended. They're like me. You know,
Nicole, I think we have a double date coming on. Me and May and you and Mortimer. I think that can happen.
I've never dated a puppet. I'm sure it'd be quite the story. Sometimes I date just for the story.
April will be the fifth wheel. Anyway, April, thank you so much for being on. You've been a delight. This is, once again, no bad shows in 2022. They've all been great. And I'm so glad I met you. And I'm sure we'll be performing together a lot. And we'll definitely be hanging out next time I'm in Vegas. Definitely, we might do a show, or at least we'll hang out. I definitely want to see your show at the English Hotel, which is a new hotel in the Arts District, which I really like. I was very impressed when I saw it. Nicole, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and how can they can order your new poetry book, Slow Burn.
Thank you. You can find me at Nicole6Books on Instagram, Nicole H6 on Facebook. And then my book, Slow Burn, is currently only available on lulu.com. That's LULU.com. And just look up Nicole6. And there will be more books coming soon to Lulu. My old publisher, they got closed during COVID. So I'm trying something new.
Hulu, not Hulu, Lulu.com. Lulu.com. And I'm Goth Comedian on all social media. Everybody have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.
Bye.